Alright, so this is the Ant Esports MK1200 Mini from last year. This was a really popular keyboard in the affordable 60% mechanical keyboard category because this was offering a really good value, a good bunch of features, and for the price it retailed for, I think this was a really good deal. And naturally when Ant Esports came out with their new MK1300 Mini, I was really excited to check this keyboard out. And I did. I've been using the MK1300 Mini for about 2 weeks as my main keyboard now, and I have my thoughts on it. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my full honest review on the MK1300 Mini, from the unboxing experience to the design and build quality, the keycaps, the switches. And the easiest way to review the MK1300 Mini, in my opinion, is to compare it to the MK1200 Mini and find out what's changed. And in this video, I'll be telling you guys what's changed, what's new, and if you should buy the MK1300 Mini or not. With that being said, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let's get started. Alright, so starting off with the unboxing experience of the Ant Esports MK1300 Mini, the packaging has improved. I really like, that Ant Esports is putting effort into their box and overall packaging itself. Inside the box, you get the keyboard itself with a USB Type-C to Type-A cable, a warranty card, and a user manual with a QR code. So you can, get the manual online. But apart from that, that's it. There's nothing else in the box. And talking about the keyboard itself, the design and build quality of it, it's really similar to the MK1200 Mini from last year. The form factor and the design itself, with some minor changes. It's still a 60% mechanical keyboard, 61 keys, and it still has that detachable USB Type-C cable, although the port has shifted a little bit. But even in the middle, it's not a huge deal breaker. And another slight change is on the back here. So the MK1300 Mini has an elevated design naturally, like it is elevated. So they've removed the height adjustment levers, which were like kickstands, and on the 1200 Mini you had 2 levels of height adjustment. Here you have none, and all you have in the back is 4 rubber feet to give the keyboard grip and so it doesn't move around on your desk. I don't know how much that matters to you, but I personally never use the height adjustment. I just use the keyboard on the default height, and even with the adjustment, it doesn't really raise up that much. And this one naturally has that elevated design. So for me, it's not a deal breaker, but for you, it might be if you're into that ergonomic typing position, if you really like that. But for gamers, I think it's fine, even without height adjustment. Now, talking about another major change, the RGB modes have decreased here. So this time around with the MK1300 Mini, you have 14 RGB modes. On the MK1200 Mini, you had 17. But the RGB lighting itself remains the same. It's still bright, it's still of the same quality. They have changed the color pattern a little bit, so the colors have shifted a little bit. Now this is again personal preference on what you like. I like the MK1200 Mini as well as the 1300 Mini. I am personally not a fan of RGB on budget keyboards. There is no per key RGB on the 1200 Mini nor on the 1300 Mini. There is no software support here, so you have to do everything with the function key. And you can, change around the lighting effects with the function plus backspace key. You can change the speed of the effect as well as the brightness of the effect. So you can change the speed, decrease it or increase it. If there is a movement in effect, you can speed it up a little bit or speed it down. And you can also decrease and increase the brightness. You can also turn off the RGB as a whole if you don't like it, just like me. I usually keep the RGB off, so that's that. But for people who want to add some light to their setup, it does have the option and it's there. Now talking about some important stuff, build quality of the keyboard. It's solid, it's still made out of plastic, but it's some good quality plastic. There's no flexing, there's no creaking. The keyboard feels really solid for the price of 2,100 rupees, and I'm really surprised that we're getting this kind of build quality at this price. Now talking about the keycaps and switches itself, the keycaps are again of decent quality, and the font this time around is also minimized a little bit. I really like this font, and there is 2-layer functions on some keys, like they have added keyboard shortcuts to the ASDF layout, which is really nice, and there's also music controls on the ZX layout. And you can use this, but sometimes they're inconvenient. You have to get used to them and you have to read the manual sometimes to find out what button combination will do what. But overall, I think this is a really simple layout if you want to shift from a full size keyboard to a 60% and you want all those shortcuts like media controls and function keys and stuff like that. So that's that. There is no arrow keys, there is no dedicated function layout. So if you use those keys a lot and those matter to you in your workflow, I don't think a 60% keyboard is for you. I think 60% keyboards are mostly for gamers, people who play FPS games and stuff like that, who just need the WASD, the shift, the space bar, and a bunch of other keys. They basically only use the left side of the keyboard. So if you're into that group, 60% keyboards are for you. They're really compact, lightweight. This is about 500 grams, really easy to carry. They don't really take up a lot of space on your desk. And with a detachable cable, I think this is really easy to put away and carry with you if you're going to LAN parties or to a friend's house to play some games. I think 60% keyboards are meant for gamers. And talking about the switches itself, there is a big update here. The major change with the 1300 Mini, for the reason for this keyboard to be launched is that it comes with Otemo Blues or Otemo Red switches. Now Otemo is a slightly more well-known brand. It is still a Chinese clone of Cherry MX Blues and Cherry MX Reds, but it is better than the previous generic switches that you had on the 1200 Mini. The switches on the 1200 Mini were made by a company called Jixian, or sometimes on other cheaper keyboards you might see YH switches. All of these are Chinese clones, but I think Otemo is a little bit more well known, more durability and just better quality switches in my opinion. But there is a catch here. The stabilizers on the MK1300 Mini are slightly inferior compared to the 1200 Mini. The keycaps were not really wobbly on the 1200 Mini. It felt really solid, really sturdy. And when you hit the keys, there was not that metallic ping. But with the 1300 Mini, the typing experience is good, but the stabilizers could have been better in my opinion. So that's just a suggestion. But overall, the switches feel good. You can get this in both red and blue, just like with the MK1200 Mini. And for those curious souls who are wondering how this keyboard sounds, here's a sound test for you guys. So here's the thing, if you want the height adjustment, if you want the extra RGB mode, if you want the USB Type-C port to be on the left side of your keyboard, then you can consider the MK1200 Mini. In my opinion, the MK1200 Mini from last year still is a really good option because it does have those unique features to it. And it's going to be available for a slightly cheaper price compared to the 1300 Mini. The 1300 Mini is about 2100 rupees and the 1200 Mini will be under 2000 now as the new one is out now. Now, the big elephant in the room that we have to address is the Cosmic Byte Artemis keyboard. How many times has that keyboard come in stock in the past few months? If you know, that keyboard is hardly ever in stock. Yes, it has perky RGB lighting. Yes, it has Otemo switches. It has software support. It might have better stabilizers. But if you can't buy the keyboard, it doesn't matter if it even exists. Only when it's in stock, you can consider it. But otherwise, I think the Anti-Sports MK1300 Mini is the only keyboard in the market right now that comes with Otemo Blue switches or red switches and offers you all these features in one package for a price of about 2,100 rupees. And I think it's a good deal. If you're into Otemo switches, you can consider the 1300 Mini. If you're into overall experience, typing, gaming, you can consider the 1200 Mini. And for an overall conclusion to this video, the 1300 Mini and 1200 Mini are both great offerings from Anti-Sports. The 1300 Mini, maybe with a few compromises, but the 1200 Mini in my opinion is a solid keyboard for its price, and you can still consider it even though a newer version is out. If you're into Otemo switches, this is your guy. If you're not into Otemo switches and you can do with the generic switches, the Jixian ones that come on the 1200 Mini with better stabilizers, you can go for it as well. But with that being said, that's my review of the Anti-Sports MK1300 Mini. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and smash the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the MK1300 Mini? What keyboard are you using right now and are you happy with it? And any thoughts on the video, I'll be there replying to you guys. I'll leave links down below for you guys to purchase the MK1200 Mini as well as the 1300 Mini in both blue and red switches. So check those links out, and buying from those links helps the channel out. With that being said, my name has been Yusuf. You guys have been awesome. Stay awesome, keep smiling, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.